Uh, Today I will be discussing Paul John Knowles. So let's get right into it. Alright, the Casanova Killer. He was known for his good looks. He was actually kind of comparable to Ted Bundy with, his looks and, his brutality and how he killed people. He killed at least 18 people, potentially 35, just only 18 were able to be directly linked to him. But he says he killed 35, so. His murders took place over 6 states within 5 months. He traveled quite often, and he never really stayed stayed at stayed one place for too long. And his murders typically, didn't really have a motive. Some of them did, but others didn't. And they did not have any consistency. Um his his murder methods were very different from the last. Some took place in a home invasion, while others uh he kidnapped people. Some people he shot, others he strangled. There really wasn't any consistency to the Casanova killer's crimes. Right. Biographical information. Okay. He was born April 25th in 1946 and died in December of 1974. Growing up, he was abused by his father, and his pattern of crime started really early as a kid, as young as 8 years old, I'm pretty sure. And his father just kind of got sick of it, dealing with him, all his petty crimes and all that. So his father disowned him, so he went to foster care, and that's where he spent pretty much the rest of his childhood. His first arrest happened when he was 19 years old, and he went to prison for just about 10 years. And while he was in prison, he became pen pals with this woman right here on the left. Her name was Angela Kovic, and they fell in love via mail letters. They became really good pen pals. And on this woman's, Angela Kovic's first visit to go see Knowles, Knowles proposed. And then after he got out of prison, uh, they broke off the engagement. And shortly after the engagement, he started killing. And much later on, the reason for his death was because he got shot by a police officer. Um, This is just a theory, but a lot of people, including myself, believe that the reason why he started killing people was because he just could not take the pressure after, the engagement got broke off. He just couldn't bear it, and it made him go crazy. That's just what I think. Next is criminal activities. Okay. The nature of his crimes are very spontaneous and very brutal. Um, he, uh, his favorite method of killing people was strangulation. That is the most common, and his murder methods were inconsistent as well. Sometimes he would uh, kill people because and take all their money and belongings. He'd do home invasions and rob them basically and take all their belongings and all that. Other times he just killed them just because he really didn't have a rhyme or reason, but really, he didn't for most of these murders, but some of them he just wanted money. And he thought that doing home invasions and killing people in their own homes and taking their stuff was the easiest way to get money. Um, he traveled from state to state. He went across 6 different states, and he never stayed long in one place. He would kill one or two people, then he'd go to the next state, kill one or two or three more, then move on to the next, and so on and so forth. His victims did not really have any consistency either. They were uh, both male and female, and across all ages. I believe his youngest victim was seven, 7 or 8 years old. I'm pretty sure. Uh, don't quote me, but I'm a lot of his victims were very young, but also a lot were very old. I believe it was his first real murder was when he invaded the home of an elderly woman, and he tied her up, and while he was tying her up, her dentures uh came undone, and she choked to death on her dentures and died. Even though that murder was accidental, it started a chain reaction, and I think that he might have gained an addiction to murder after he accidentally killed that lady. And when he finally got caught, he resisted arrest several times. But the most notable time that he resisted arrest was towards the end of his criminal career when he was getting found out. And he ended up holding a police officer at a traffic stop at gunpoint and stole the police officer's vehicle and took the cop hostage and traveled some more in the cop car and then realized that this cop car brings a lot of attention to myself. So he used the fact that he is in the cop car to pull somebody else over, and he pulled somebody else over, and he took that other person hostage along with the cop who he stole the cop car from, and stole uh the other person he took hostage, the civilian. He stole the civilian's car and then drove several more miles, and then when you know the police finally caught up to him and his new getaway car, a high speed chase started, and he ended up crashing the new getaway car and running away on foot. And he almost got away until another civilian found him and held him at gunpoint until the authorities were able to arrive and arrest him. Characterizing the serial killer, Paul John Knowles was most likely a hedonistic killer. And what that means is he killed for his own gratification and thrill. Basically, what is consistent with these crimes is a lot of times there wasn't really a reason or a main motive. A lot of times he just killed because he liked to kill, and he is very opportunistic. And whenever the opportunity arised, he would just try to kill somebody. And then he was extremely disorganized, which is also pretty uncommon for hedonistic killers, and he made several mistakes in his criminal career, especially towards the end of it, that led to him uh, finally getting caught. Some of those which include letting a few victims escape. He did have a few victims escape his custody, and they went to go tell the authorities about him, and that's so the chain reaction to where he finally got caught. And then finally, my reference page. You can you can pause this and zoom in. I also am going to include this as its own document, and it is also in the essay portion of this assignment. In the essay, I go much, much, much more in depth with his kinds and my and you know with his kinds and what all he did and his background and all that. I go much more in depth there. And thank y'all for watching.